Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a very wet Monday, the 20th of December. Hard to believe tomorrow is the first day of winter. Winter solstice tomorrow. But it's 37 degrees. It's snowing pretty much everywhere higher than we are. Look at Abby creeping out of that barn. She goes in there looking for scraps that Kylie leaves behind from her little horse food stuff. But yeah, that's ought to be an interesting drive to work. Hopefully it's nothing like going to Kelso on Saturday. Dang, that was terrible. The little woman, she couldn't quite make it to work. So we're doing a quick little pit stop. We're more than halfway there now, though. Well, Mama?
Yes, Papa.
That was less than pleasing.
Not fun.
Nowhere near as bad as going to Kelso on Saturday, but yeah, not fun. But people were being safe this morning. That was very, very nice.
Yeah, there was no crazies.
Yeah, no crazies today. So, Mama,
Yes,
we
Papa.
reached that proverbial Monday once again.
We have?
Let's go in there and get her busted out.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
You too, Papa.
Love you. See you. Bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Holy moly. This thing's been sitting upstairs off to the side. I don't know where all the dust, probably just the dust from the shop going on. These are all crash parts. Don't be trying to sneak no name off of there. This is one that got rear-ended. I did when I did the estimate, I did a service. I don't remember which one it was. We replaced the belt. And then I was in the middle of something, and Ryan was low on work one day. I said, why don't you take that crash job? He goes, I don't want to take the work from you. I said, I'm buried in this thing. Go for it. And gets up there, and someone had left the last 2 pages of my estimate. It's still attached to the estimate that I printed out, but they didn't put it in the computer. Somebody got sidetracked. So, and then something, I don't remember what it was, the rear trunk tub, something was back ordered. Little woman?
Yes, little man.
You ready to head home?
Yes, please.
It's darker than the hubs of holy heck out here.
It'd be dark.
What I tell you about breathing? You're fogging the automobile up.
It was your turn to hold your breath.
I think we got water, or I got water in this thing when I went to Kelso on Saturday.
Yeah,
It
power blasted it.
Yeah.
Sideways.
Yeah, it was definitely going sideways.
Yeah, because it's never fogged this much.
No, I don't know where I got the. Here's one of the. Oh, that's the front windows. Well, they're all up. I don't know. Seems to have got in somehow.
Yes.
Anyway, let's head north.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. She's all filled up with almost said diesel.
That's looking at truck diesel over there.
Yeah, I was looking at the trucks and stuff. Anyway, filled up with regular unleaded.
Yes.
No diesel. If we put diesel in here, we'd have a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get the heck out of here, Mama.
All right. Sounds good.
Dogs are waiting for us.
I know it.
All right, so we made it home safe and sound. And as one of you commented today, you're not going to be able to leave that thing alone, are you? Nope. So I'm going to dig this thing out and see if I can pinpoint. If it's a linkage back there, I don't want it. If it's been compromised in some way, I don't want it just sitting here. If somehow or another it got wet or it's damaged in any way, just let's get her done now. But as well lubed as... You guys remember when I put the lowering links on Kelly's? Them boys at Royal Enfield flat packed these things full of grease. So we're just gonna see what's going on here, or try to determine what's going on. So let me get this thing dug out so I can get it in a spot I can look at it. Hang tight. It's definitely making some kind of a creaky sound there, and I don't know why. I hope it's not the swing arm pivot. Because that looks like a whole nother poop show to deal with that. But it could be. Depends on if I find anything dry in these. I'm sitting in a weird spot. Anything dry in these linkages in here. I guess I'll just start pulling some pieces out and see what I find. Nothing else. They'll never be accused of leaving anything loose. Holy moly. I can see tons of grease in these things without even pulling anything apart. Grease is even on the outside of the seal. There's a seal between the housing and that collar, and then underneath there's a bearing. Look, anything's rubbing weird or doing anything strange. I haven't pulled that one out, but you can see plenty of grease. They must have inserted from this direction. That's why it's probably grease on the pin. And then these attach here, so there's no bearing on this side. It uses that inner bearing as their bearing. But you got the two bearings out here. Well, one on each side. So let me clean this thing up because I don't want to introduce dirt to it. So I'm just going to wipe it down real good. And we'll pull these collars out. I don't think there's a grease problem here. The shock's not connected, so I'll be able to test the swing arm, see if any creaking's coming from that. And if so, we'll have to yank the wheel and pull the swing arm out and check that. She's definitely squeaking. I don't know if you guys listen, how you listen to the videos, but with my headphones on, editing, it was definitely going. She was a creaker. All right. Well, unfortunately, it's not what I wanted to find. So, kick that board out. I just had that shimmed underneath it. Kind of takes the load off the bolts for pulling all the linkage stuff apart. But I can grab the wheel, straddle both sides, lift it up, and go slow. One, it's stiffer than it should be. I mean, I got the weight, but it's noticeably stiff in its movement. And if I slow down about halfway through its throw, I hear it's creaking on the pivot up there somewhere. So I'm gonna have to pull the swing arm off, which means now that I don't have a shock on there, the swing arm is going to be kind of free to float when I pull the axle out. So I need to rig up something that I can hold the swing arm somehow, keep it from just free falling to the ground. Plus I'll be fighting it the whole time I'm taking it off. So yeah, I don't think, one thing I always do with my motorcycles is pull the axles out and grease them. I don't think I've done that I haven't done that to any of the Himalayans or the Royal Enfields. So at least it doesn't appear to be going through the motor. Oh, it's not. Definitely not going through the motor. So the swing arm has its own pivoting area. A lot of modern bikes, that is, the swing arm goes through the back of the motor. It's one of the motor mounts. Does the DR do that? No, DR does not do that. You can see it pivots on its own, and it's not related to any of the motor mounts. Sure like my little plug being in there. It's amazing something so simple brings such satisfaction. Alrighty, dadgummit, more work than I planned for. Absolutely wonderfully greased axle. But, it was funny, I was telling Kelly last night that I swear the last couple of times I've ridden this thing, the suspension just felt like it had crazy compression and rebound dampening, like something was stiffening up. This swing arm should just go gung, 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 gung. But listen to this. Something's bound up, seized up, or something. Yeah, That's crazy as holy heck. Found the problem. Something is askew. All right, let's see what we got to do to get this thing off of here. So again, the swing arm axle, absolutely perfectly lubed. Very, very well done, Royal Enfield. Super impressed. Everything's just perfectly greased. However, I did find where the creak was coming from, and not quite sure. I'm trying to wrap my head around why it's doing it. I have to do some more investigating. But this is your spacer. It's kind of like, oh, at the bottom of the license plate there. This is like a wheel spacer inside your wheel that goes between the bearings. There's a pipe in the middle of that hub that goes between the bearings. Whatever, and I mean, that swing arm axle was some kind of, I had to use a high-powered impact to knock it off, to bust that thing loose. And anyway, got the thing out, or loose, and it was binding. This is a collar that goes through this side of the swing arm. The Japanese and, I mean, everybody, even BMW does it. There's always, for a certain amount of play, there's one side goes tight and the other side's a floater. For whatever reason, this was bound up in a way that was moving back and forth in the frame as a bearing. The second that nut came loose for that swing arm bolt, dong, 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 the swing arm was working perfectly. So I think they over-tightened it to a point that it bound something. Instead of this being just a floater off to the side like it's supposed to be, it literally became part of the right-hand bearing in that swing arm. So, I don't know. But you can clearly see where that was moving when it shouldn't have been moving. So, I don't know. I'll do some investigating here and see why it's doing what it's doing. The bearings are nice and smooth. And I haven't pulled them out, but they feel very well greased. Everything's really nice. Don't know why it's doing it. It wasn't doing it before. I don't know. Because it's pinched on this side, so it shouldn't have been able to move. I don't know. It's a mystery. And I'll dig around. It's 9:30 out here tonight already. And we haven't even eaten. Kelly's probably in here mad. Well, if she was mad, she'd have been texting me. But anyway, we got some more work to do on this. We need to investigate why it was doing this. And that's where the creak was. And like I said, as soon as that nut came loose, everything went free. The noise was gone, and the swing arm was working like it should. There should be absolutely no resistance. I shouldn't be able to lift that swing arm with nothing attached to it and it just stand there by itself. And you could hear it hopefully you could hear it, when I was lifting that thing up and down. Yeah, there we are. That's what the sound was this collar moving in the right side of the frame. This actually goes inside here. This goes inside the frame right here. And you can see where I had to use a brass drift to knock this thing out. You can see that it was so tight that it actually lipped. So I very carefully kind of moved back and forth to make sure I wasn't going to damage the frame somehow pushing that thing through, but it just light taps and it went through. But yeah, when a collar becomes your bearing, that's no bueno. So it could be something as simple as, I don't know. But it was binding. You guys seen it was binding. So we'll figure out why and move on from there. But we're not going to do that tonight. So expect some more Royal Enfield mystery to unravel before us. Guess I could put everything together and make sure that there's no binding in between the collars and everything floating in there. And you can see that wasn't moving. That's just everything being tight. This collar moving just doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I got to ponder this here a little bit. But anyway, so this is the collar on the left side. This, when it's, well, actually, that's the collar for both sides. This is the collar for the frame. This is going all the way through the frame on the left side. In fact, this thing will probably fit right in that hole. Yeah, it does. So the axle is serving as the collar on the left. The collar going through both bearings. The tube, it probably floats on that tube, because you can see it's got the little recesses where it'll float on those bearings, kind of like the spacer in between your wheel bearings and your wheel. And then this collar sits on this side, but it's tight. No, now I got it going right in there. I don't know. That's what it was. Since I loosened everything up, she was all kinds in happy land. That explains the suspension. It wasn't my imagination, the suspension. And yesterday, I just chucked it off to the cold. And then I heard the squeaking, and then I go, something's going on. That's why it feels like it's got like excessive compression and rebound damping. It was just like I had almost a steel strut in there. There we are. All right. That's it. Bailing out. Well, hello there, YouTube. How you like that? Went out there to look for a squeak and took the whole rear end off the Himalayan.
He's crazy, man.
Super impressed with how well everything's greased, and I don't know, that swing arm just seemed a little too. I don't know. Maybe I won't be so happy when I figure out why it's doing what it's doing, or it could be nothing. I don't know. She was definitely bound up. Just got to figure out why exactly. Sort it all out. It's just a thing. Just another motorcycle.
It's just a thing.
Yeah. But everything I seen up till then, I was seriously impressed. Good guys. That's why them things seem to last forever. They may not be the top-notch, top-tier, whatever. Do I look like somebody that cares? No. All I know is it makes me smile when I ride it.
I know it.
Makes
They
a little
are
woman.
so much fun.
Yeah. A little bike that could.
Yes.
Determined little thing them suckers
I
are.
know it. They just tractor right along.
Yeah. You very quickly forget all about the power and speed and all that stuff. You're just out having fun.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, on that, we'll cut her short and sweet.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Tuesday or Wednesday.
Heck yeah. Thanks for hanging around. Well, mostly listen to me ramble on, but thanks for hanging around anyway.
Yes.
Oh, we got some cool stuff from the post office today.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Run out of time tonight. One for Kelly is.
It's so cool.
Yeah, so cool.
You guys are going to freak.
Yeah, you're going to like this.
I freaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
All right.
So talk to you guys tomorrow.
See you then.
Thanks now. Bye-bye.
Bye.